where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love. I kept on looking, but everyone's such a bore. And out of a sudden, you came through the door.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole Cole. Today we are going to do a DIY project in our guest bathroom. I know, we've already decorated that bathroom, but remember I said I'm gonna do something big in this bathroom. Scrolling through Pinterest the other day, I found this particular DIY project and I had to do it. Off to Amazon I went, scrolled through, ordered the product, it was here, and I had half of it on the wall before I started filming. So that being said, let's dive right in and look at this on the process on how I did this, and then at the end, I'm going to share with you guys my pros and cons, what I would do differently, would I do it again type deal, okay? So y'all, I hope you get some inspiration from today. If you want a wall with character, this is it. Y'all enjoy. So I tried this, but it was too hard and it was making holes in the panels. So I went to just a regular staple gun, and y'all can see how it's breaking the tiles just a little bit. But honestly guys, I am going to, and I have an idea for this right here, but I am going to fill all of that with spackle, so you're not gonna see all of those imperfections, and I think it's gonna look really good. My idea right here, because that wall is slanted, is I think I'm going to take my lumber that I have from my great grandfather's barn and do me a piece all the way up the wall right there, and possibly on the other side where I decide to stop it, just to make it look intentional. So that's my idea, because it would not go in that corner there. It was a booger. So I think it's gonna be pretty, y'all. I really do. I love the look of it. It looks very real. And once again, it's just sheets. It's plastic and it looks like stone. So now you can see all the imperfections, but I am going to cover all of that. This is 3D paneling and it's plastic, guys. You can see my imperfections right there. But we are fixing to cover that. I really like the look of it though. What do y'all think? Looks like real stone. Now I'm gonna take this, and in all of those areas where you see that it looks where the rocks are not joined together, I'm going to do almost like a German schmear and make this rock look more realistic and more vintage or rustic. Demonstrate how this looks before. You can see where I have cut some of the panels. I've had to cut them to make them fit in this corner. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the joint compound, or excuse me, the spackling, and I'm going to fill in those areas and over add spackling to make it appear like a German schmear. I do drop some, so. Now what I try to do is I get it into the crevices and then I wipe as much off of the rock portion as I can. See how I did that? And there is definitely a technique to this, and you just got to find your technique. The look you want, the look that you're going for. I wanted a more overlaid or German schmear look. There's some areas that I kind of changed my tune and did a totally different technique, but I love the way it's turned out so far. So once you get your spackling on there, I know I've got to fill in it. Let me go ahead and fill that in. And we are going to go back and do wood down these sides. I'm just not going to do it just yet, but I wanted to show y'all how it turned out. And you can wipe off excess. It's not hard at all. All right, so once I get this filled in right here, I'm going to take my rag, and it needs to be a terry cloth rag or something with texture to it, so it will pull the spackling up a little closer so maybe you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, and you can see I already have spackling on there, but I'm just going to dab it and look at the texture it gives. And just like that. Y'all, this project turned out absolutely gorgeous. If you did not see during the clip, this is exactly what I used. It is plastic, or I believe they call it vinyl. I ordered it off of Amazon. I have used 2 packs on this wall. So I did the whole back wall of the bathroom, and I'm not finished with it yet. I'm still kind of deciding. You can see right here above my wooden mirror, I did a piece of wood, and that wood is a piece of my great-grandfather's barn, or garage. I think he stored his tractor in it. He called it a garage, but it was a barn. So I want to kind of put some things around. I'm still kind of debating on that. So what would I do differently? So as you saw in the pre-clip, or in the clip, I did staple it on with a staple gun. That is okay, but I think I would go in with either liquid nails, see the back, I would go in with liquid nails or silicone and put it on the back and kind of butter it and then put it on the wall. Now, I did have to cut some of the rocks out and put them here and there to make it fit where I needed to, like I did up here in this corner, and I had to do on the other side. So you will have to kind of have a little bit of extra for some cuts, kind of like you buy tile, okay? So I would do that differently. I would glue it to the wall or adhere it to the wall with some kind of adhesive. Let me say it like that. I kept calling it a German smear, but it's actually like an over-grouted tile or an over-grouted rock. So it looks more aged, and that's the look I wanted. This turned out beautiful. I would do it again if I was retired or I had more time or I just had one solid day that I could devote to it, and I probably could have done it. Right now, with our lives, it's a little bit busy with us moving into this house, but I saw this and I wanted to do this project, so I jumped in, full force, and I did this. So I wanted to share with you all the finished product. Now we are going to decorate again in this room, and I think I'm going to leave it a little more simple than I did when we first decorated it. But this kind of hid a lot of that. You can see on this wall, there's a lot of texture. Now this one is not near as strong or as heavy as this back wall was. So if you have a wall that you want to either change the texture of it or you want to make it an accent wall, something like this is very inexpensive. I have $200, maybe $300 in this whole wall with, spackling and buying the product. So I will link that down below with my Amazon, and if y'all are interested in that, I would suggest taking a full day and just doing nothing but this. Also, do not use, I was using a very narrow putty knife. Don't use a narrow one, use a fat one. A fat one worked best for me. I know I watched several videos where they piped it in with a icing, kind of like a piping, a bag, but I just didn't think I wanted to do that. That was a little more time consuming, and this was time consuming enough. So I hope y'all enjoyed this really cool idea. Very inexpensive for an accent wall, unless you paint, but it gives it a lot of texture, and I love the finished look of it. Y'all have a great day, and thank you so much.